I put myself between the charging ogre and our wizard, and raised my shield to deflect his blow.
All right, sounds like defy danger to me. Roll plus strength.
Well, that's a 4.
Good news, mark XP. Bad news, the heavy blow tosses you about 20 feet into a pile of what looks like vines. As you land, the vines begin to move around you.
Oh, wait, what? I want to discern realities. Okay, got an 8. That means one question, right? What's about to happen?
As the tendrils begin to make noise and move closer to your friend, it becomes apparent he's about to listen to that D&D podcast. Hello, everyone. Thank you for downloading this latest episode of That D&D podcast. Before we get into the summary from the last session, let's go around to the players of our smaller table and introduce ourselves. My name is Chris. I will be playing the topside part of a continent and possibly some people. And that means I'm the GM, just in case you think I'm just being stupid. I mean, I am, but also that.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I'll be reprising my role as Zarko, the Insane Wizard. No, wait. Got you. I'm the Paladin Vultus.
I am Robert. I will be reprising my role as Bill.
And I'm... Sorry about that. Turn off. Stop it.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that perfectly timed audio clip. Oops.
So it's been going around my office recently. Oh, right. I'm Michael J. Dark Semperard, and tonight we'll be playing Rook, the, what am I? Clark.
Clark. Alright, so the last session, the party was all together traveling south down from First Conquest on a mission to sort of be ambassadors for the town, try to get some trade, try to get some people to show up, show that the people of the one sort of bastion of religiosity in the world isn't full of bad folks, and that, you know, they can be reasonable and they can be helpful and people that would be worth having around.
And they chose to send Vultus?
Yeah.
Look, they knew what they're doing.
Between recording last session and recording this one, we decided it would be a fun thing to try to split the party into two sub-parties. The first group, which is Zarko, Sam, and Auric, headed to the Undertrails, which is a creepy, spooky kind of underground cavern system. And Vultus, Rook, and Bill decided to head west, not into the creepy mountains, to see if they could find fortune and assistance-ness over in that direction.
Screw going underground.
Word.
There's no air down there.
There wasn't a whole lot of people to forcibly convert to our religion down there.
Also, my god said go this way, and, you know.
We guess that's an okay reason.
And my child said, stop what you're doing and pay attention to me last week, so...
I remember that.
I get the reference.
Greedy children. Wanting attention.
Friggin' time vampires. None of you have enough XP to level up yet, huh?
I haven't leveled at all yet.
I think that Bill might, after the last session.
Let me check the Obsidian portal just to make sure. You have 6. You need 8. So you're almost there. Rook has 5. Vultus has 4. So, not quite there, but getting close. Just fuck up a bunch on this one, you're good to go.
That doesn't sound like me.
Well, maybe with more experience, it will sound like you.
With a little bit of internal arguing back and forth, Auric decided to leave you guys with the mule and cart, mostly due to the fact that he realized a mule and cart would not be the most adept at traversing a cave system. The other party took half of the rations with them, so you guys have a mule, a cart, and each of you have 5 days worth of rations, so make sure to add those to whatever your current number is.
Can we take more rations?
No. They took some and rolled out. Zarko's not, he's a little wary of Vultus, so he was quick to have his unseen servant pick up some rations, and also they just rolled out. For some reason. We're not sure why. I assume some stuff went down.
I definitely haven't tried to stab Vultus yet, or Zarko yet.
That anybody knows about. So did you guys want to set up camp and make a plan, or you just want to head on to the west?
I think we have the plan. The plan is west. There's going to be something vaguely close to the coastline. And, yeah, God said go that way.
Yeah, just to recap, we're on a mission from God, a cleric of bloody conquest, and Bill, whom I don't want to see die.
I mean, whoever's voice is louder than mine is probably in charge, so I'll follow the god.
Sounds reasonable enough. I want to say it was like morning when you guys decided to split up. So with, the mule carrying most of your stuff, you can make pretty good time. Who is going to stand watch for the night?
I have wisdom.
I have wisdom, Greg. Can you milk me?
Yes, I can.
God damn it.
Why don't we get a first watch and a second watch? Just roll me 2d6 plus whiz. Oh, there's a take watch. Yep, 2d6 plus whiz.
I want to know if the mule has any obvious religious markings.
You're not sure if anybody else sees it, but there's this little white spot in its fur that totally looks like the symbol of your god.
All right, just making sure.
All right, so for first watch, Rook got an 8, and Vultus got a 10. Very nice, very nice. 7 and 9, nobody has a jump on you. 10 plus, you're able to wake the camp and prepare, and you take +1 forward. Not bad, not bad. Luckily, nothing tries to kill you guys in the middle of the night.
Does Bill have to roll to not have a dream where he kicks in his sleep?
You can give me a dream resist roll. 2d6 plus Constitution. Also,
God damn it.
if you fail, that doesn't count for experience. This is a fluff roll and does not count. So time passes quickly. It's relatively quiet aside from the sound of the ocean lapping against the shore off in the distance. You get the nice smell of the sea air to wake you up the next morning. Caw of some seagulls flying overhead. I guess you guys want to continue heading west. I'm going to say probably around lunchtime you come to what appears to be signs of humanoid traffic. There is, in the sort of sparse tree lines, you see a well-worn path where the foliage has been trampled down over years and years to where it's just kind of bare earth. It seems to lead forward the direction you guys are going. You could follow that for about an hour or so, and then it's going to come to a fork. You'll have one that continues mostly west, and you'll have one that veers kind of sharply off to the south.
Which way are most people going?
It seems roughly even, as if maybe people use this to travel back and forth between whatever the two locations that are connected are.
Excellent.
Is there a signpost that says this way this and this way that?
Nope.
We could interrogate someone.
There's a rock at the fork, and it's got a red circle painted on the top.
Does anyone know what that means?
Not like on... It's just right at the top in the middle, so we can't say it's circled toward either way.
Yeah, it's just on the top of the rock. If anyone wants a spout lore to consult their knowledge on rocks, you could do that if you want, I guess, or just, shrug your shoulders and pick a direction. It's up to you.
Somebody interrogate the rock.
I am the law.
I totally could, too.
I'm not going to spot lore for it.
So you got a choice. You can head in literally any direction, but there are paths leading west and south. Any votes for any particular direction?
Which way does God want us to go, Vultus?
Yeah, if I briefly consult the powers that be.
Split the rock in half. Whichever half has the most red, that's the decision that we take.
I can't get any blood out of the stone.
I've been squeezing it so hard.
It seems to falter momentarily on the directions, and then you get kind of ways slightly more to the south.
My god shrugs and shuffles his feet and glances around. Yeah, then south it is. If it's not exactly a strong south.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I inspect the prints and see if there's any particular direction that say like wagons go one way and people go the other? Or?
Sure. There seems to. Are you checking it at the fork or on 5? Okay.
Yeah, at the fork, though.
Let me Vultus. You get 1 failed experience.
Yay, wisdom.
Like I said, it seems like this is sort of a main road connecting 2 places. So likely it's going to be equally worn on both sides, as whatever is coming from one place is going to the other one. So, they're both going to have cart marks.
Cool Sith it is.
Okay. So, it takes most of the rest of the day for you to go all the way down this path. But after a little while, you come to calling it a town is a bit generous, since you come from First Conquest. You know what a real town is, with walls and proper guards and shit. This is mostly just a bunch of houses where there's no woods. You hear the distant sound of a blacksmith. You smell bread and meat cooking in the air. You hear the laughter of children.
Wait, they have a meat and bread here? Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, that's good enough for Bill.
They sell fresh ravasts. Have you had them? As you guys approach, there's some guy who comes up. He's probably about middle-aged, not dressed particularly fancily or anything like that. He's got a short sword.
Is it this fucking guy?
No, it's a different fucking guy. He's got a short sword in a scabbard. And as you guys walk up, he waves. Says, "Hey, we don't get many travelers these days. Well, at least not in the past couple years. How are you guys doing? Where are you from?"
We're ambassadors of First Conquest. Have you heard the word of my personal god and savior, Lash?
I was about to say, Bill, choose the ... option.
He says, "I know what ambassadors are. I don't know what First Conquest is. Are you trying to conquer this place? Because, I mean, we've got an okay setup, and, not being conquered is probably preferable."
So you surrender.
He's like, "Look, I'm just the law keep here. I'm not sure who you guys are. If you promise not to pull your weapons out in the middle of town, I mean, you can go in, get some food, get some shelter."
So who's really in control here?
Not this fucking guy.
All right.
No, because he's dead.
He just does as he's told.
Okay.
He keeps the law.
Take us to your leader.
I mean, we've got an elder, but I mean,
Sold. Let's go.
they're preparing for the ritual.
Oh, so go post haste.
This is sort of a time-sensitive thing. Do you guys want? You could maybe talk on the way.
Sure. What kind of ritual is it, by the way?
What is about to happen here?
Nice.
There is a group of people who seem to be putting wreaths of flowers and such on a body in a cart.
How do they acquire this body?
Probably in the usual way. They either made it or it was given to them.
Because when Bill hears that somebody's starting a ritual, he is pretty suspect.
It's a burial, buddy.
Okay. Thanks, boss.
Just stay back and we'll keep you safe.
Okay. Thanks, boss.
Just wrap yourself in this bubble wrap. You'll be fine.
Sure thing. Thanks, boss.
All right. We go there, or Rook goes there.
Bill goes too.
Vultus will survey the town and see if there's anything valuable worth trading, or if this is just a bunch of muck farmers farming muck in their shitty little shit town.
Okay.
I'd love it if that was said out loud in front of the guard. Shitty little shit town.
Bill and Rook are going to observe the ritual. Is that what you're saying?
We're going to see what's going on.
Okay. The people gather around. Some are crying. Oh, Bobby just dropped out. Is he still?
But he's in mumble,
Okay,
so let's
still
keep
mumble.
going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some people are crying. There's some who are putting some fragrant oils on the body, and there's a woman who seems to be directing the show, so to speak.
Does she seem elder?
Yeah, she's older, probably late 60s, which for the Wilds is pretty good.
Rook surveys the scene with a careful eye. and then tries to decide what here is not really what it appears to be.
Okay. No, Bobby, she's not human. She is...
Trapezoidal.
She's like an elf, but shorter and with green skin.
Can you consult the
Fucking Gith.
Index Hereticus?
Is my hammer glowing to tell whether or not she's a goblin?
It's glowing faintly.
Okay.
You know, I got a spell for that.
Is it the left half that's glowing or the right half?
Just top.
I show that to Rook.
Rook, hammer.
Look, man,
Did you know that I had a hammer, Rook?
I've been trying to get this cleared up for weeks, buddy.
As you hold your club out, the people who are attending to the body, they stop and they back away. And the elder walks forward and she says, "Please put that away. There's no need for that here."
Okay, but did Rook see it?
Rook
Okay,
sees
yeah,
all the
but-
things.
I'll put it away.
So I'm sorry. What was not what it appeared to be?
Oh,
If the answer is nothing, that's a legit answer.
yeah. I mean, this is totally a preparation for some sort of funerary type ritual. So everything seems on the up and up right now.
Okay.
Bill, sorry.
She says, "I understand living out in the wilds can numb people to the effect of violence, but here we try to be peaceful as much as possible, especially with how dangerous the world is. We prefer to keep our homes as safe as possible, as free of violence as we can."
And again, Bill says, sorry.
"It's okay, my child," and she tries to put her hand on your shoulder and console you. So there's no harm done. We would like to alert you to the way we do things here as early as possible so that you can act in accordance with our ways as much as possible.
Bill, sorry.
Okay.
and goes in for a hug.
You've come here on a day of mourning and celebration. What can we do for you? How can we help you on your travels, whatever they may be?
Well, we were here to establish trade, basically.
What is it that you seek to trade?
We've got like a whole list of stuff, but you know what? So somebody died, but you seem anti-violence. So was this was the violence thrust upon you? Were you just overwhelmed in some sort of violent way? Was this
Could just be a funeral.
They passed on due to illness. They fell ill, and when the seasons changed so abruptly, their bodies were taxed beyond their ability to handle it. Their sickness grew. Unfortunately, they died. Left several children behind and several mourning brothers and sisters. They will be missed. We're preparing her to receive the transformation.
as a purveyor of funeral rites? I'm interested.
When the people of our town pass on, we have a sacred area we bring them to where they may spend the rest of their days and may continue to benefit our town.
I would just like to take this opportunity to remind Rook that the safety word is heretic.
You guys aren't like worshiping anything weird, are you?
We worship nothing. We simply receive a blessing from nature itself that allows us to continue to enjoy the love of our loved ones.
Would you like to worship something?
Phrase it slightly differently. Congratulations, you now worship something.
We've seen all too much the effects brought on by the gods, as they call themselves. Be hesitant to pledge ourselves to one. And that is an individual decision and not one that I would force upon my people.
Well, you'll come around. So, you died because the weather changed? Seems pretty inefficient.
When someone is old and also sick already, they perhaps do not take to the changing weather well.
Okay.
It happens. We're preparing to leave now to begin the ritual. Would you like to come with us and see for yourself?
Sure.
Yeah, I kind of want to see.
We'll depart within the hour, and if you have any preparations you'd like to make, if you would like to buy anything in town to bring with you, feel free. And I guess let's go over to Vultus. You said you wanted to look at shops?
Yeah, just see what this town can offer and if there's anything. Yeah.
There's a few small stalls that sell fresh baked goods. There's some that sell freshly hunted meat. There is a kind of rudimentary blacksmith place where you can put in work orders and that sort of thing to have stuff made. A lot of what they've got available on hand already is bows and arrows, mostly stuff that you would use every day for your life, like hunting or farming implements, that sort of thing. It's all pretty basic.
Yeah, but they've got food, and that's something that First Conquest could use more. Okay. And how long of travel was it to here from First Conquest?
It was 4 days to the Mirthless Marsh. Y'all drove and you traveled another day before you split, and it's been about another day and a half. So let's say, conservatively, about a week. Yeah.
Okay. I'm basically just going to be wandering the stalls, sort of saying, "Hey, there's another market to sell goods at. Just head north past the marshes, right up to the coast, and there's a giant walled city. It's really hard to miss." By the way, praise Lash.
Most of them, when you talk about another place to sell your stuff, they're like, "Oh, you misunderstand. These baked goods and this meat is freely available to the townspeople. We don't sell it. It would be crude for us to sell to the townspeople gifts that were given to us."
Sounds heretical.
Bunch of fucking communists.
Our main production here is we make metal goods. We have some somewhat skilled blacksmiths. We trade that to our benefactors for food, as they don't need it. So we give them the tools.
Well, let's slide that back up a bit.
And who are your benefactors? And
The Bone Hive.
when can I convert them? The what?
The Bone Hive. Have you not heard
The
of
what?
them? The Bone Hive.
The what?
The Bone Hive.
The what?
Sounds like a
Bone
frat.
Hive.
The Brone Hive?
Are you okay?
I'm just still trying to process something. Let's see if I can spout lore about hives of bone. Because that doesn't sound creepy, terrifying, or something like I should be smiting. Hey!
That's close enough.
I have to tell you something interesting, and it's on you to make it useful. There are records in ancient times of the newly awakened or reawakened dead forming some sort of rudimentary society after their controller died.
Stop. I can only call heretics so hard.
So, I'm gonna actually defer to Mike on this one. How does Lash feel about the undead?
Not particularly negatively. Not anymore.
Not since that day.
But
That's the day that series shit went down.
it's really gonna depend.
Okay, I'll put a pin in that. And
So
we
it's
can
like
come back to that later.
Undead against their will would be bad.
Mhm.
Undead that aren't brought back against their will and aren't hurting people would be okay.
So the undead that might theoretically be feeding this village full of hippies.
Nothing comes from nothing.
Cool. Where would I find said bone hive to pay my respects for these gracious offerings? And Vultus is probably like eating a slice of pie as he says that.
No, he'll be eating an apple because it'll make him look like more of an asshole.
He's got like his longsword just to cut slices out of the apple, eat them off.
Sir, please put the sword away. We don't have weapons drawn here, aside from eating utensils, and a long sword is definitely not an eating utensil.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But yeah, alright, fine.
I'd prefer for there not to be a scene. Just thank you for...
Pulls out his Dragon Age style murder knife.
Oh, so that's the other thing. So that it would prefer not to have a scene. What kind of scene would happen if we were to continue playing with our weapons, metaphorically or literally speaking?
Are you asking this in character? To
Yes.
the Elder?
Yes, because you said this is the second time you've warned against a scene.
Well, this is a shopkeep, so this is a different person, but... Because Vultus wandered off, so you didn't even hear that part.
Okay, never mind.
By the way, did you guys want to get Vultus before y'all head out for the ritual thing?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so Rook, if you go too, you show up right as the person is asking Vultus to put his sword away because he doesn't want to have a scene.
Okay, so tell me more about this scene.
We don't allow drawn weapons in town aside from if we need to defend ourselves. There's no need to draw a weapon on your fellow townsperson.
So we who? Because Rook is getting tired of the pronoun game.
Bill,
So it's
can I do something real quick? Mike, sorry.
of course.
So they're against drawn weapons on townsfolk? Correct,
Just in
Chris?
general, I guess drawn
Okay.
weapons.
So I get out a little pencil and draw a sword on Rook.
That's very clever, and we're very proud of your artistic abilities.
Drawn weapon!
We're all very proud of him.
He's a special boy, and if stickers had been invented, we'd give you one. He's your special drawing boy.
Vultus musses up his hair.
Rook conjures a trophy for participation.
You tried.
So, what were you saying, Rook?
I don't. So we're new here, right? So all of this vague sort of, oh, they don't like it, or we don't want to make a scene, doesn't make any sense to me. So can you please be more clear? Like when you say you don't want to make a scene, does the ground open and bone people issue forth in order to protect you, or is this like, oh hey, the elder will come by and ask us again in a slightly sterner voice to put away our weapons?
Those who willingly and flagrantly shun our laws are asked to leave town. We only welcome those who are willing to cooperate with our way of life. We don't think it's much to ask to not pull out a tool of violence in town. There's nothing here that can be solved with only violence. We have words. We have reason. We are intelligent species. We should use that which we have been given.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So didn't we? And again, I'm not, and I may have missed last week, but the weeks before that, we fought through like ichor monsters or like some sort of swamp filled with half crocodile fiend things, right?
Mm-hmm. Crocodigators.
Right. And then there were the satyrs that wanted to take our pants or something.
Not exactly, but there were satyrs.
That's Rook's third hand at Ken, is what he took away from it.
Okay.
So, very confused, Rook asks, you are aware that you're in the middle of nowhere, an uncivilized area surrounded by monsters.
Yes.
And you
we have
ask
weapons
them
available,
to leave?
And no. If we are attacked, we do defend ourselves. We have weapons to defend ourselves, but there is no reason for us to attack our fellow townsperson. If we feel that something so dire happened that the person needs to die, we can have them exiled from town. We have our way of living here. We're comfortable with the way life goes. We've pretty good setup, I believe. Good trade system with our benefactors. It's a decent life.
You're not like sacrificing children or anything
Your
evil?
benefactor's the bone hive.
Why would we sacrifice children? That's
Because
terrible. Of course not.
I mean, if you want to lower the AC by about 2 degrees.
Okay. Can we talk to the Bone Hive?
The elder, Corrine, she is bringing one of our recently departed to the hive in an hour if you wish to travel with them.
Sure, let's do that.
Would you like any food
So
to
pat
bring
it?
on the way with you? Anything to eat or drink? We have
No, I'm not.
some.
I'm not convinced it's not heretic food yet, but thanks.
Okay. Have a great day then.
Yes. Have a magical day.
A few minutes later, the town elder comes up and she says, "Are you all ready to leave?"
I think that would be best.
Nothing has tripped my lie senses yet.
Nope.
Fucking seriously?
Yep.
Nothing smells like a lie?
No, they're all bone washed, brainwashed.
Bill said that he brushes his teeth twice a day, and then it just sets you off.
You're bleeding copiously from the nose. So last time you heard him say toothbrush, he was actually eating a pine cone. You all are allowed to join the funerary procession. It heads off to the north from town. You travel probably half an hour to 45 minutes, and you get to the edge of large body of water, somewhere between like a pond and a lake size, right as the sun is beginning to go down. And as it sets, you can see in the lake, it's glowing a sort of bluish green, like the water itself is glowing and bubbling slightly. And in the light, you can sort of see the outline of what appears to be a water vessel of some sort at the bottom of the lake. But as you all get closer, you hear clacking sounds and the sounds of tools on earth. And looking off to the shore off to the east, you see, bleached from the sun, you see bright white skeletons working the land, tending to crops. There is a small wooden pen with some livestock in it, and they have a crate of tools. They have some hoes, some pickaxes, some plows. There's another crate with some bows and some well-made arrows and some swords in it. And as the procession arrives, they begin to sing songs, laugh, tell stories about the person's life, and the skeletons take note of your arrival. They put down their tools, and then they walk slowly over to you guys. Anything y'all want to do, or are you just going to see how this plays out?
I'm gonna go inspect the body in the cart.
Okay.
Like, just wander up and appear as though I'm offering up some final wishes.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular, or you just want to get like a general situation on the body?
Yeah, breathing, breathing, movement. Anything that suggests this person might not be recently departed.
On a scale from 1 to 10, there are no signs of life. The skin does not appear to have lost much of its color as it does, as it begins to decompose. So it's probably died in the last few days. But
any obvious cause of death, or does it just look like an old person who got sick and died?
It's pretty emaciated. Like, it seems like it's just an old, frail person. The skin's leathery and it's got liver spots and stuff on it. Just the signs of an old life.
Cool. I'm gonna ask the elder what the cause of death was, just because I wasn't there when she explained it earlier.
This one took ill recently, and unfortunately, did not survive the change in weather. It exacerbated his issues, and we did not have the necessary skill with the illness.
That's unfortunate. I believe the city that we come from, First Conquest, we actually have a number of skilled apothecaries and healers. I know it's little comfort now, but perhaps in future this sort of loss could be avoided.
That is something that would be very welcome to us. Though it is reassuring to see that they have a sense of life again. It's always painful to lose them as they were. Would you care to help us with the ceremony, or are you just here to observe?
Oh, I think observation is going to be just enough for me, thanks.
Very well.
Yeah, let's start with observation.
Yeah, no, Vultus is carefully choosing his words not to lie.
Perrine motions to the skeletons nearby, and off the cart they pull the wooden thing that the body is laying on is sort of like a stretcher. So 2 skeletons gather at the back, 2 at the front, and they reverently lift the body on the stretcher, and they carry it over into the water. They walk in.
It's fucking full of piranhas.
Soon they descend below the water. There's nothing for a few minutes, and then the skeletons come back. The stretcher is empty. They sit down, sort of cross-legged. You could hear the few remaining tendons holding those things together. They're kind of creaking as they bend over, and they sit down. They cross their legs. They cross their arms over their chest, and they bow their heads for a few minutes. And probably about 5 or 10 minutes later, a skeleton, not nearly as bright white as these, and with kind of more brightly colored connective bits, walks out of the swamp, and all the skeletons gather around, and they put their hands on its shoulder, and you hear some clacking sounds as the jaws move. It seems like they're welcoming it into the community. The elder says, though Brother Eldon is gone as we know him, he remains and is able to now carry on a new life with a new community. We wish him well in all he does. Wish him many years on this earth. You see some people head off towards the new skeleton, most likely friends, relatives, that sort of thing. It's most of the procession that's going over there. The skeleton seems a little bit confused, but after a while, it's kind of hard to tell without facial structure and stuff. But the attitude of it seems pretty friendly and warm, as if it recognizes these people.
Man.
I just want to say this is one of the more fucked up and unique and really things I've ever run into in RPG.
Yeah, I mean, this all seems wrong, but if they're cool with it, I don't know.
Yeah, no, they seem cool with it. And this is basically like donating your body to science or medicine or whatever. It's just donate.
Just check their ID right before they die.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, are they a donor? Okay, let's bring them back to life.
Rook, bone donor. Rook strikes the conversation with the lead boneologist.
Bonographer?
Are you trying to find a skeleton that looks in charge?
I'm trying to. So one of them is leading the process of dunking whole bodies into the lake of devouring the flesh and returning the bone bits to life.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to start talking to the skeletons until I find one that's able to. And do they just clack back at me? I mean, until they verbalize? Is it magical? Is it sub-resonant? Do they use like bone microphones?
If you want to begin talking to one, we can figure that part out. I haven't decided any of that.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you want to ask it or tell it? Let's strike up a conversation, and I'll.
What's your name?
You hear a little bit of rattling, and then over the clacking, almost as if it's carried on the wind, you hear, "Do you mean my name as I was, or my name as I am now?"
Is there a difference?
We have different names that we use to refer to each other in this town.
So, what are you now?
I am the leader of my people.
Who were you before?
I was... Do you mean my name, or what did I do?
Like Rook, cleric of bloody conquest. Like what would you put on your name tag if this was the 21st century dating thing?
My given name was Rolland, and I was a baker all those years ago.
Okay, and now you're the leader of a now absolutely fascinating Bono commune. Are you part of the leadership?
Would you say that you offered these services to the village pro bono?
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
No bones about it.
Is there like a microbone action going on, or?
We have very little need of laws or anything. We live simple lives.
No, I'm right. I'm not looking for laws. So you used to be
a baker.
Michaela or whatever,
Rolland.
the baker, but now you used to be Rolland, and now you're the leader of the Bone people. When you say you are the leader, do you mean you are part of the consciousness that leads the Bone people? Are you a group hive mind? Are you a mega entity?
We all have our own thoughts. We all have our own will. We just simply have one that we look to when we need to reach a decision that we cannot all agree on.
Has any of you ever left?
When our numbers reach a certain point, whenever we add one is returned to the earth. If that's what you mean by left.
Whenever you add one is returned to the earth. Has anyone chosen to not be part of the group?
This process is entirely voluntary.
That's not yes or no.
None of this is lying?
Nope.
Fucking no liars. What the hell's the point of this stupid ability?
Forcibly volunteered.
Everyone makes their preference known when they are alive, if they wish to join us or no. After they are brought back, they are free to return to the earth at any time if this life is not what they thought it would be.
Has anyone done that?
A few.
Okay.
We don't keep records.
No, that's cool. I'm not. I believe you. If Vultus here isn't freaking out, you seem to be trailing the truth. So how does this work? Like, what energy sustains you? How do you work these fields? How do you provide momentum propulsion without muscles contracting? How do you fuel your engines without eating?
The
I'm curious.
water sustains us, I assume. I never thought to question it. Those who wander far from the waters, they find themselves losing energy. They are not able to keep themselves together. Some choose that way when they leave our community. When they choose to return to the earth, we believe that if they wander far enough away, that they will disincorporate and they will lose the spark that animated them. Some simply we bury, and then they are able to will themselves to no longer be. 2d6 plus 0 spot lore on Rook, having heard anything like this before. 5. No, this sounds about right. This is, first off, let me mark down a fail XP.
It's almost like I was trying to look for experience.
Yeah, you got a 5. You definitely have not heard of anything like this before. Any books that you guys have read, usually when it comes to The Walking Dead or skeletons in general, aside from like an anatomical standpoint, usually the words evil are underlined like 8 times with red ink, and necromancy, and that sort of thing. So this is sort of uncharted territory.
So in my long experience of not knowing what to do when coming across something I haven't seen before, I'm gonna try to fuck with it.
How so?
Please stand by.
Your inquiry is important to us. You'll answer your inquiry and
So what precept of religion did I pick? Do you remember? Because I see that I'm a cleric of bloody conquest at petition offering, which is important sacrificial rites. Okay, so Rook turns to Vultus and he says, "Okay, I have no idea what's going on here, but I need to know, and I feel that you'll probably be similarly curious about what's going on.
Verily.
Give me an hour. I'm going to take some of this water and mix it with my blood and see what happens while praying."
I was just going to try to drink some of it, but you do you, girl.
I figured that's close to the sacrificial rite. I offer up blood in exchange for knowledge
Oh, yeah, totally.
of the thing and praying, so...
Yeah. Vultus searching for faster answers is going to try a sip, though.
Rook suggests you not.
Yeah, no, I've got a different idea now.
Okay.
Real quick before we do that, Bill just rolled to defend Rook. How are you planning on defending Rook in this situation? Did you hear the plan?
Yes. If he decides to drink water, I'm going to dive in front of the cup and take that
Are you going to take the sip in his place?
sip of water myself. Yes, just dive in front of him.
Under no circumstances, Rook drinking the biodegradation slurry that lives in the lake.
Okay. Okay, well, look, on a 7-9, you've got one hold. So if there's a situation where Rook becomes in danger, keep that in mind, and you can spend that hold to defend him in some way. We'll figure that out when the time comes, if it comes. Okay?
Okay.
Did you bring a cup? Do you have any sort of goblet thing?
As Rook believes, one of his religious precepts is offering offerings. Offering offerings is a sacrificial rite as an offering. I've got some sort of
Or like a ritual bowl or cup or something? Okay, yeah, I can
so Rook will have like a dagger that's used for nothing except sacrificial offerings and, tongs or whatever.
I can live with that. So you're going to go get like a scoop of the water?
Yeah.
One of the skeletons is going to come up, and he's going to put his hand up to stop you, and hold out his hand, and after a few seconds of clacking, you hear, "If you'd like, I can gather it for you."
Why?
I seek to be helpful. You're a visitor. We would like for visitors to have a good opinion of us. It's not many understand our existence, so the more that we can have who are tolerant of us, the better.
Sure, but I mean, I'm not taking. I don't want to interfere. I want to learn.
You are free to sample the water, to take some with you. It is definitely your choice, and I will not stand in your way. I was merely offering assistance.
Sure, I get that, and that's cool. Thanks. I don't come from a place where people offer their assistance. I come from a place where I was a soldier for
You come from a land down under?
then where men churn and women gender or whatever. Yeah, so thank you for your assistance. Just give me a minute here. I'm gonna put this under my religious microscope and drop some blood in it and see what happens, and then talk to God, and hopefully God will be like, "Oh shit, burn the." No, I'm not gonna share that last part.
Very well. If you need anything of us, all you have to do is ask. And he goes back over to the other skeleton. Some of them, after they finish welcoming the new guy, they go back to their tasks. So they're tending to some of the animals and working on the crops and that sort of thing. So he picks up a hoe and gets back to work.
You work that hoe.
You can totally get a big bowl full of water if you want some water bowl full.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab a little bit, not like a bowl full, just like
Enough.
right, and then use the sacrificial dagger that I carry to perform a small offering of blood, and just pray. Drop the blood in the water and pray.
Okay. So you prick your finger, some drops of blood go in. How long do you pray? Is it like a real quick thing?
No, it's probably in like an hour.
Okay. You're used to, by this time, when you finish your prayer and look down at the bowl, you've usually got to like find something to scrape it clean since the blood has clotted. This stuff is still just floating there at the surface, completely unclotted, and the water is still glowing faintly. What are you asking your god about?
These don't seem like particularly. Okay, so Rook is a cleric of bloody conquest. None of these people seem like they're particularly worthy of. They're not challengers. I mean, they might be good at defending themselves or whatever, but they're not. I don't know. I'm having a hard time.
They're not advancing their cause by expanding their flock.
Right.
They're maintaining the status quo.
Is it like would setting up a satellite campus of this be horrific, or is this something that we could turn to our uses? Both from a
that's basically where Vultus is going.
Right, both from a religious and from a practical standpoint.
I mean, do we know that they're cool with it? They're telling us that they're cool with it, but do we know if their voices are their own?
Well, so if any of them have left willingly, then they're not oppressive, right? And they're not eternal. When they take more people, some of them leave.
Left willingly, as in escaped?
Right. So to join the commune, you have to be willing to join them. Right? They're organ donors, or for lack of a better word, body donors, right? If they don't want to be part of it anymore, they can stop being part of it, and they're not slaves.
But how do we know that they're not being forced to say that?
Because some of them have.
They truly believe.
Because some of them have left. Right. That's why I asked them if anyone has ever left. Because if anyone has ever left, then even if it's like 3 people have decided that in their entire history, it's just like, well, I thought it would be rad to be a skeleton, and it turns out it's it's just the pits or whatever.
I kind of just want to die for real.
Right. If anyone's been able to do that, then it's not oppression. Now they're not. It's a localized phenomenon. They can't move far beyond the lake, and traveling far beyond its reaches, they just collapse into bones. But if this is the sort of thing where we can move it to another location,
yeah.
Well, shit, we can make people dead. We're pretty good at that.
And we can put people to work with strict orders and guidance.
And this sounds like the same sort of
are
thing.
we evil?
Are we the baddies?
I am lawful. Yeah. Are we the baddies? Do I have a skull in my helmet?
Rook is a cleric of bloody conquest. Not that he's evil, but he believes in religious exceptionalism. So he's a zealot.
While Rook is praying, Vultus will also sort of kneel in the pond lake. You know, just not super deep, but he's going to...
like knee deep when you're kneeling?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I was about to say, congratulations, you are now a skeleton.
And Bill, wake me if he needs his legs healed.
And he's going to pray, ask what here is evil, and just if I can sort of discern any other factoid religiosity. That's a word now.
You kneel down in the water. You don't really feel anything at first. After a little while, your legs begin to not prickle. It's nothing even anywhere near that uncomfortable. It's sort of like right after you get full feeling back in your leg after it goes to sleep. You know that the pins and needles is just kind of starting to go away, but you have that faint echo of it. You feel that kind of down your legs that are in the water through the armor. And as you ask what is evil, your attention is pointed and drawn to the north end of the shore, where you see torches breaking through the wood line and some angry shouting. You didn't notice these figures before, probably because you guys were far away, also because these figures are kind of short. But about 15 or 20 dwarves come through the tree line.
And they're evil as shit.
They say, "We don't trust you! We don't trust this damned army that you're trying to put together! We're gonna stop this once and for all!"
Okay,
And-
at first, when you said that Vultus's, had pins and needles after getting into the water, I thought you were going to say that his skeleton was trying to get out and join the other ones.
The skeleton
You
wars
feel your
have
ribs
begun.
fighting for freedom.
There's a necromancer spell for that in 13th.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah, no, it only targets mooks, and if you murder a crowd of mooks with it, you get that many skeletons as minions.
Nice.
Anyways, so Vultus, hearing these people and sensing evil, is going to yell to arms, get out of the spooky water that's making his legs asleep, possibly a little stupid looking, because his legs are kind of asleep, and whatever. Happens to anybody. You sit in the fucking mud.
How many arms?
Only 2. And he'll draw his longsword and prep his shield.
Okay.
And get ready to bash some fucking dwarfs in the face.
The people who were there for the ceremony, you see them sort of form a ball around the town elder, and the skeletons form a protective ring around them as they hand out swords and bows and arrows. The dwarves are stomping around. They're stomping their way around the lake towards you guys. And they see... where are you guys standing? Are you putting yourselves between the skeletons and the dwarves, or what are you doing?
Forget it. Have you gotten feedback from the whole religious question thing yet? If ask again later is the answer, that's okay. We can resolve the dwarf thing first.
With better understanding of the magic, these reanimation abilities could prove very useful. An army that does not feel pain nor fear is a force to be reckoned with.
All right, let's go kill some dwarves.
So they don't feel pity, fear, or remorse, and cannot be stopped unless re-killed.
So just slit their throats.
So
don't
where are
break
you
their
guys placing yourselves in this setup? Are you going to be the first thing the dwarves come across? Are you going to...
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Bill's going to be in front of the skeletons.
And Rook will be in front of Bill.
And Bill will be in front of Rook.
Bill crawls
But
between
then Rook
Rook's
will
legs to get in front
But
of
then
him.
Bill will push Rook aside. Well, Vultus thinks that Bill is a brave soul, so I gotta stick with
As
that.
the last rays of the sun pass under the horizon, and the only light nearby are a few crackling torches from the dwarves, and the green glow emanating from the pond lighting up half of your faces, the dwarves have a few representatives who come forward. They say, "I don't know who you are, but if you're standing with those wicked dead things and those damnable stupid people, then you gotta die too."
Did they actually think that the dead things are wicked?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Dude, they're just tilling crops. I mean,
Who sent you? Why are
Fine.
you here? Don't tell me I have to kill you, please.
We're from Scrabhurst, up north.
More like scab hurts.
I heard your mother couldn't tell a ruby from an emerald.
Settle down, children.
If if you think you're the one who are going to kill us, you got some bad times up ahead.
Okay, now I'm actually intimidated. No, wait, the other thing. I'm going to intimidate these fuckers into leaving. No.
Wait.
I am the motherfucking law, and I'm putting my boot down. This invasion is over, and they are turning this bus right around.
All right, hold on. Mike discerned realities. You got a 7, which means you get to ask one question. What you got?
I want to know who their leader is.
So you've got these.
Yeah, who's really in control here? I guess of them, right?
Right. So you've got these 3 guys up ahead that are talking to you. Behind that, you've got, let's say, like 12 dwarves. These are all dwarves. You got 12 behind those 3, and then way back about another 150 yards is one guy with some, it looks like handmade metals and crap on his leather armor. He's got a longer beard than the others.
Okay. Vultus, shoot that guy with lightning bolts from your ass.
That's not actually something I do.
Bolts of lightning from your...
Back when I didn't have to tell the truth, that was one of the lies I told you.
Oh, God.
Okay, so Vultus, are you doing I am the law on these guys?
Oh, very much so.
Okay, so tell me exactly what you say and how you declare your divine authority.
I am sent by she who weighs and measures all things. You're found wanting. This invasion is found wanting. You will go home and bother these people no more.
Okay. 11. So, on a 10 plus, after you do I am the law, you take +1 forward against these guys. And I get to choose one of these. Either they have to do what you say, back away cautiously, then flee, or attack you.
And he sort of...
Really? On a success, that's one of the options is attack?
That's preferable. Come at me, bro.
Well, I mean, think about it. Even if they're like bad people, if you're like, hey, I'm the police, there's always going to be somebody who's like, yeah, I got a gun, pap, pap, regardless of whether they're in the wrong or not.
Exactly. For 1, for 2, I believe I'm being hospitable in offering these fuckers a chance to flee before I start gutting them like fish.
I politely ask you to fuck off.
I can get behind that.
But yeah, no, if one of them takes a swing at me, there will be no mercy. No quarter asked nor given. And I'm tempted to just dump their bodies in the fucking pond afterwards.
That would be...
More for the skeleton
It
army?
would be... When did we...
It'd be a good experiment to see if what they were saying was for true. So, after you make your big declaration, you cite who you've been sent here by, who gives you your divine authority to even command these people. They look back and forth at each other, and they just start laughing. And he says, if you're here representing some fool god, then you're even more of an idiot than the people who allied themselves with the skeletons. It'll be a joy to wipe the earth with your blood.
Quick question. Quick question. Would I be hospitable if I cut one of the guy's throats open the moment he mentioned some fool god?
If you want,
Just do it politely.
okay. So basically, he gets to fool God, and then you cut his throat open.
And then
And then everyone attacks.
Okay. Well, you'll have your surprise attack. So why don't you give me a hack and slash? Is that the 2d6? Okay, you got a 10.
it's +3 because I get to carry one forward. So yeah.
So let me see. Do roll the damage for me. Do you want to do an extra d6 at the cost of possibly opening yourself up to attack?
Not yet. It's D10 +1.
You crit.
Oh.
So what may have been an attempt to just cut this guy's throat actually ended with a complete decapitation. So he gets to, if you follow a fool god, and then it's really hard for him to say stuff, and he's curious for a second as to why, and then his head rotates to where he can see his body flop to its knees and then fall forward, and that is the last conscious thought he has before he departs from this world. At that, both sides charge towards each other, and that's where we're going to end the session for the night.
Damn it.
So thank you, everybody, for downloading this latest episode of That D&D podcast. We hope you liked Weird Skeleton Times and the dwarves who hate them. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Go to our website, leave us some comments. Reviews on iTunes are super fancy, and we appreciate those since they help us show up higher on the search results, which means more people get to hear us, which means we can maybe get more cool things to happen that would probably be entertaining. Regardless of whether you do those or not, hopefully you'll download the next episode anyway. You all are awesome. So thanks, and catch you later.
That D&D podcast is released under Creative Commons 2.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivative License. Tell your friends about us, but don't chop out the good stuff, and don't sell our work. The intro music is The Last Ones by Jahzzar, that's Jahzzar. It can be found at the Free Music Archive. The outro music is Kopeika, Kopeika, by Et, that's ET_, and can also be found at the Free Music Archive. All other copyrighted content is owned by their associated copyright holder.